Brad's like, right before we turned it on the camera, Brad goes, "You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?" No, hey guys, welcome to whatever the hell this is, where we talk about things and say words to you. Thanks for joining us.
And say words.
Thanks for joining us once again.
We supposed to be upside down?
We've got problems.
Yeah.
That's not upside down. Everything looks fine.
Everything looks fine.
Everything's good. Are you concussed?
No, I want to see if I can see Tony in the shot.
You can't.
is all.
No.
So,
No?
what's
Oh,
popping,
yeah.
everybody? How's everybody doing?
Uh,
Doing good.
Yeah.
I'm doing great
Why is that? Tell us, Tony. Why are you great?
because today's Tuesday.
That's fair.
today's podcast day.
I really do look forward to
Guess
doing this
what
podcast. I
day
don't know if
it
anybody
is.
enjoys it or. We really need headphones. I was watching last week's episode. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Well,
We just talk over each other and have multiple conversations. It's.
Yeah, so we try to. I told Jake I was trying to give him some advice. Just interrupt all the time.
Yeah, we get a lot of that. we get a whole lot of that. But yeah,
Our
I
first comment: WTAF.
don't know what that means.
I can't
What?
handle
do.
this.
the actual.
There we go.
Frizzle.
There we go.
Yeah, he doesn't know why.
That's fine.
Oh,
Today's a monumental episode. It's our year anniversary.
that's right. That's
Doing
right.
the show for just over a year. So
Exactly.
that's right. I'm sorry. Exactly a year today. I was a leap year, so it's just over.
Are you sure?
No, it wasn't a leap year.
How was an extra day out of week?
It's math, bro. Just
In
get over it.
science.
All right,
So, I mean,
David Blaker says half of you are in the upside down.
I hope it's not me.
You are.
You are, yes.
You are in the
Oh,
upside
sweet.
down.
It's
All
me
right.
then too, right?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I saw.
Oh, so
Gemma
we're
Gordon.
regular?
You haven't said
Exactly.
why yet, though.
Heck
We're
yeah.
not gonna get eaten.
Did you still haven't watched it, right? But did you like this season of?
Stranger Things?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked it
enjoyed
a lot. Apparently,
Yeah.
like it critically wasn't like super
I
well
mean,
received.
it's different. It's.
I thought people were overly critical of it because I enjoyed it.
This is freaking me out.
Yeah.
people want to know what's going on.
I don't know. We're having
Listen,
technical
wait.
difficulties.
Do we have a title for the show for like every
Yeah,
episode?
I named it.
Oh, okay. Well, look at the
Read
name of the
description
episode.
below.
I still haven't seen it. I still want to. Really bad.
Yeah, I remember
We'll
that
make it
time
normal when
you were at my
somebody
house
figures
on
it out.
Thanksgiving, and we're like, "Hey, let's watch Stranger Things."
You
And
guys were
just,
talking loudly.
You
I could
decided
barely
to,
hear the
like-
episode. You're like, why do you want to stop watching it?
He
Oh,
just
I'm sorry,
jumped on
because
his phone.
I just
He
missed the
stopped watching
last
it.
half hour.
what an ungrateful cuck.
On air.
Okay, cuck's not a bad word. It's just, especially we're just. We're not,
It's a
it's
kind of
not
bird.
a bad word.
It's kind of not
I
a
was-
great word.
To be
kinda like
fair,
the word
I was
slut,
defending
like-
it to Brad earlier that it's not a bad word or a bad thing to be if that's what you choose.
Yeah, I would say if you choose it, sure.
Okay.
So you got
But
it.
if you're
Somebody got
unintentionally
it.
69 yin yang. Come on.
We're going normal.
going, oh, somebody picked.
Finally.
Somebody got it, yep.
All right. Okay, so the Lions won on Sunday. That was
That was nice.
Who are the Lions?
The
it's this
Detroit
really
Lions.
terrible football team that. I'm sitting there Sunday, right, and I'm holding Lincoln, watching the game, and I'm like, this poor kid, like he's got no chance.
I feel like if the Lions blew it, you're yeeting your kid across the room.
He slept for most of the second half. So when Slay got the pick in the end zone, he was literally like on the cushion next to me sleeping, and I grabbed Sarah and was like crushing her soul.
One thing that I was happy with in this game, and they built it up, and then the way it ended, they built up the Darius Slay and Kareem Allen.
It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, well, you're about
That's
50
old.
years late in a different
Is it
sport.
a different
Yeah,
sport?
different sport.
Totally different sport. Keenan,
know, 'cause I saw
Allen.
Keenan
Airplane.
Allen. So they built up the Darius
hockey.
Slay and Keenan Allen matchup like so well. Like they kept saying their stats. They kept talking commentary about how that they were like going to be head to head all game, and like Keenan Allen got like
He was
really
getting the better of it.
He was
really.
getting the better of them all early game. They kept throwing flags on Darius Slay, and it was like built up to be this really good, which you haven't really seen in pro football. It's always like quarterback is the highlight
Right.
and whatnot, but you never see. I'd probably say like back since Terrell Owen days of when you've seen a wide receiver cornerback battle that I get hyped up. and then it ended with a Darius Slay interception.
I'm super happy it ended that way.
It was such a good game. I'm glad they won. They're undefeated.
They are undefeated. So, did you watch the Michigan State game? Did
No.
you see that? Oh my
Glad
God!
you got the joke.
So, for you, okay, we'll move on from our sports segment here in just a minute. But Michigan State, like they were up 7-3, and then their defense just like took their pants off late in the fourth quarter and gave up a touchdown.
Dude, if there were pants being taken off, I might watch football.
Well, you should have watched this game because there was some depantsing.
There was a sports segment like that for a little bit. I'm not sure if it still airs.
At any rate, Arizona State scored, so Michigan State then comes down and tries to kick a field goal right as time expires, right? They have like 12 men on the field goal unit. They make the kick, right? Moving back 5, the guy shanks it. And they lose because they had too many men on the field goal unit.
How does that happen?
I don't know. You don't typically have a ton of backups. And you get out there and you're like, okay, well, I'm the tight end. Who the hell are you?
Yeah, it's
He's like, I'm the tight end too. And you're like, no, you're not. Go to the bench. It's like,
Okay.
You got to get this on camera real quick.
what is it? Is this
A snap from Joel Butts.
Acropolisception?
Like, I can't believe this is on my TV. That's Inception, Joel.
That a boy.
Joel's been on my TV before.
I did want to say
Yeah?
Yeah.
I saw a meme. It was really funny.
Can I cut you off for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
I want to elaborate
It's
on
when we
this.
went to mini wargaming. Joel's game got on YouTube.
Oh,
And
nice.
what's funny is in that game, like they're like, all right, hitting on 6s, and they move in, and then the screen goes black, right? And I'm like, oh shit, my internet like cut out or whatever. And then it comes back on, and the guy pans up, and my dumbass brother had turned the light switch off in the room, and and they pan up, and he's like, so funny.
Production value.
Oh, so funny, man. Did you see that part?
No.
Oh,
I didn't
my
watch the whole
God.
thing. As soon as I saw Joel was going to be in it, I was like, I don't want to watch this
I'm not watching
ever on my
this
TV.
The lights come back on, and it's
Jeez.
all 6s.
I wonder how that happened.
Oh, it's so funny.
So I saw. So you don't need to be a sports fan to appreciate this. So
Challenge accepted.
I don't get it.
so the Miami Dolphins have been slaughtered twice in a row now.
I didn't see that.
Like really bad. And I saw a meme because the XFL is coming back. And they said the XFL just announced their official team roster or team register, and then they had the 8 teams that are going to be on it. Then the 9th team was the Miami Dolphins.
So you might need to be a sports fan to know what the XFL is.
Oh no, everybody knows what it's like a
I
bastardization
don't know
of
what the
football.
XFL
Do you remember
is.
the game
Vince McMahon owned
NFL
it.
Blitz?
Yeah.
It's that in real life.
Football's caught on fire? I will watch that.
Like tackling
No
people
kickoffs?
and breaking their
Only
legs.
at the 10-yard line?
That's what the XFL is?
No, they're baning all the players. Like you miss a tackle and the coach just banes you, like breaks your
The
back.
XFL has walls around the thing.
No,
so like,
that's arena football, bro.
oh, it's arena football?
He don't even know what it is.
Okay, the XFL
Guess you
is
need
a-
to be a sports fan.
It is a shoot off of
I
the,
didn't know what it was, and I appreciated
You
it.
just cut him off. We just talked about
I don't know if Dakota's coming, but he saw the funny part of the show, so that's good. Okay, I mean,
Aw,
so
man.
Well,
That's
you
it.
should see his comment.
I saw it.
What did
I
it
saw
say?
it. I said, darn it.
He said, "Love you."
Tim, don't tell that
Gosh
story.
dang it, Tim.
Gold darn.
Dag nabbit.
Dag nab. I'm going to start saying that. Okay, so
You
this
should,
weekend.
Dad.
That's fair. This weekend was the
You got your New
London
Balance on?
GT. What?
I said, "Do you got your New Balance sneakers on?"
I'm getting them. They're in the mail. Crispy white boys.
With the carpenter pants.
I follow a page on Instagram called
white boys.
what is it? It's like classic dad moves or whatever. So funny. It's like about mowing the lawn and grilling and stuff.
Did you see the,
Stand
Yeah, it's so funny.
Did you see the comparison between the New Balance and the Air Monarchs?
No.
Oh, I don't know if that was that guy or not, but
Oh God, we're
Yeah.
gonna. You know what the next? It's not Jon Snow. It's gonna be Tim's face on Dad's. This is gonna be great. Stay tuned after the video.
That's so funny. So at any rate, the London GT was this past weekend.
Yeah.
Last year the London. Do you remember last year there was some controversy with it? The terrain apparently was really bad.
Yeah, I do remember
It's
that
the second
now.
largest 40K event in the world. Second only. to
Really?
LVO.
Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah,
They
that-
have like 400 or 500 people. Do you know who won it this year?
No idea.
I think Evan said it was Aldari, and then Ultramarines came in second. But
Really? I honestly I wouldn't expect Eldar to do that well.
Why not?
Because they're
Well,
fish
then
people.
It's just flyer spam, bro. That's top.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. That's a lot
the
of.
flyer spam's not going anywhere.
That's
they're
well,
space
not,
elves.
not right
Yeah.
now anyway. That's true. I forgot about flyer spam, but no, there's just a lot of stuff right now that's really good.
This is gonna be great.
Flyer spam is the counter to Tau, so I could see
Right.
why I could see
Shows
that
ya.
beating them.
1980s
resolutions. I think it's also the counter to a lot of other armies like orcs and chaos and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So.
Well, it's just a stupid. I really hate that army build, but
I
I
do
mean, it
too.
is what it is.
Yeah,
I do
because
too.
they're just fish people.
That's the Tau, man.
Tau.
Oh.
I thought you guys just said Tau.
He said no. He said Eldar.
He said that
Eldar space elves.
Yeah.
I said
Yeah.
that list is a counter to Tau.
To fish people.
Yes.
At any rate, that event was this past weekend, and as far as I know, there wasn't any controversy. Last year, it was like somebody got caught cheating on the stream. Last year was a bad year for cheating.
Scandalous.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Was
bad.
it
This year
intentional
hasn't been that
cheating?
great though
Yeah,
either.
it was something I don't remember. Like a lot of these big tournaments have their top tables streamed, and people catch that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would say last year into 2017, there was a lot of issues with.
Well, look who it
There was a lot of controversy on 40K streams, and I think this year has been quite a bit better. Because
Yeah.
was it Nova last year that was? There was somebody got thrown out at Nova or
I
something.
don't know if it was Nova or the LGT, but
Jumps
LGT there
right
was a
in.
huge problem.
This past weekend?
no, last year.
Okay.
So
It's
everyone was
almost
like
he was watching
on the
it.
edge of their seat, waiting for something to happen. I was watching.
Yeah, I
we
think
saw your
from,
comment.
from what I see,
I got on the stream just
As
in
I was
time to
telling the
hear you
story?
start the story, and I like in my car, I actually said out loud, and I was like, Colin, the guy, because I asked him, I was like, so you're gonna edit that out, right? And he's like, no, we're leaving it in. I was like, you bastard.
it's so funny. I didn't even know what happened when we were there. Like, they never said anything about it. And then I watched the video on YouTube, and here he is, like, red-handed, turning the light off on the production.
Okay.
So funny.
Have you seen?
I did not use my hand. I backed into the switch
Have
because it was in the Orc studio where
And
they
it
had
was all wacky.
yeah, and they had like the light switch instead of like going up and down, it was like at an angle, and it
was like-
switch
it was like
the
a-
size of your fist.
Have you
Yeah,
guys
it wasn't a light switch. It was like a lever.
It was one that said lights don't touch.
Have you guys seen Scary Movie 3?
No.
I
Is that the one
believe
with
so.
aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like
I've seen them all.
Like the rap kid or whatever like says the
Eminem.
lights.
The rap.
yeah, Eminem.
Yeah.
Says
Yeah,
that the,
well.
I almost said white Eminem.
he screams like a girl when the lights go off. Like, oh no, they must have turned off the lights. And he looks back, and it was his back. And he's like, he's trying to turn it back on with his back. Can imagine that was
That was
Dakota.
Dakota in the room.
Yep, that was me.
Well,
So
we,
funny.
Thanks, Jake. We don't get those 3 minutes back.
That was maybe
It's
30.
so I get it.
That was like 45 seconds.
I appreciate
Sure,
it.
you don't
get
like
it back?
3 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, LGT
Didn't
was
need
this
it.
weekend. Do you know what one?
I believe it was the Eldar.
Flyer
it was
spam?
Josh Death.
Josh Death won the LGT.
Yeah, he was playing against Nick Nadavati, and then the as long as I'm
So
pretty
two Americans
I'm
were
pretty
the top
sure
two.
this was. I'm pretty sure, like, because I was just listening to a podcast about it this morning, but I'm pretty sure that was the pair.
The guy's name
And
is
they
Nate
actually
Death.
had to call the game early because the venue was closing, so they didn't even get to finish their game.
Oh wow.
Apparently, like the
Jason saying there was a bad controversy.
yeah,
You
it
said there was a bad controversy about the game.
I think that's what Dakota's
well,
talking
well,
about
yeah,
right
because they didn't
Josh
get
had
they
to
didn't get
change his
finished.
name.
So
They didn't have time to finish their game. Is that what
no,
you
no,
said?
because the venue was closing, and then they weren't willing to keep it open later for them to finish.
This is the second biggest 40K event in the world.
Yeah.
Like, how does this happen?
Well,
I didn't know about that.
apparently they had stopped the chess clocks like numerous times
Was there-
to resolve issues, and
Like cheating issues?
No, I don't know what kind of issues. I just know that they had to pause multiple times for apparently decent lengths of time.
So
to resolve
the event,
problems.
go ahead. All I'm going to say is the event apparently was running on a very tight schedule. If that's an issue, but go ahead.
Is there money on the line?
I think typically there are cash prizes.
Well, I'm
For
just
these
saying,
big
like,
events.
you say it's
Probably.
the second biggest event of
Yeah.
a really small niche group of people.
Probably,
that's fair.
probably
Like,
top 10.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean there
So-
were still over. I
so
want to
if-
say there
if-
was over 500 people at the event.
Well, I mean, if the top winnings is like $20,000,
No,
they're
I don't
gonna
think
stay
it's
open.
No, I don't think it's that sizable. I mean it's not like
He says Jason says it's like a 1K. It's like $1,000 given out to like the top 8.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. Jason corrected me. This was on a previous day.
oh okay. So that's not how the finals.
Conrad was the one that won with flyer spam.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. was gonna say, I assume Josh Death was playing some kind of Chaos.
No, he was actually playing Space Marines.
Speaking of Space Marines, did you see the Salamanders leaks?
Yeah, and I'm not happy about
No,
them.
I don't
All right,
think
what's
so.
wrong with them? Elaborate. I don't know.
They don't. There was basically
meh.
like their tactical doctrine thing is they get +1 to wound rolls with flamers and meltas.
It's not terrible.
That's
but
good.
And yeah, but you can't use flamers from Deep Strike. Their range is too short.
There's a lot of
I think that might end up having
I'm
more
sure
of a.
meltas will be fine. You'll wound a lot of stuff you want to on 2s
And 3s.
or 3s.
Yeah, it'll be more.
I don't
3s
think that'll be
probably than
trash,
2s,
but-
it's not. I don't think it's.
No,
as
I
good
mean
as
I still think Iron Hands are
but,
far and away better.
Well,
No,
they
I
set the
think
bar
so,
with
too.
that.
Also, apparently,
Jake, you should be following these
there
leaks,
weren't
bro.
that many Ultramarines. Like there was like tons of White Scars, tons of White Scar players. Like in like the
Really?
yeah, in like the top. I'm not gonna get the numbers right, but I want to say like of like the top 12 or whatever, like 4 of them were White Scars and 1 was an Ultramarine or something like that.
That's
Is this
surprising
Jason?
me. I thought.
He is very passionate right now. And apparently somebody is wrong.
Amazing. Yes, you can. You are so wrong.
What are we wrong about, bro?
15 exclamation
What
points
can
and
you
a
do
1.
that
Elaborate.
you said that you can't?
What?
You said yes, you can. What did you guys say you can't do?
Jason, you gotta
something with
elaborate,
the
man.
Flamers.
Oh, you
use
might be
flamers
talking
out
about
of
Deep Strike.
Maybe.
Don't they have? They only have 8-inch
8-inch
range, right?
range, I think.
Some
so.
flamers have. Well, even if you have a 9-inch range, you're not in range.
So, like,
Flamers
right?
from Deep Strike. That's what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
Yeah.
but they only have 8-inch range, so you're out of range
I got
because
more
when
than
coming
8-inch
down
range,
outside
but-
9, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Well, that would
11 inch.
apply
He
to
said
the
11
Dreadnought
inch.
ones too.
What I mean,
Or
what,
the
what has an
Invictor has
11
a
inch
flame.
well, it might be something with like a heavy flamer.
The Invictor's got a long flamer.
He said 11-inch, long range
Experts.
experts.
Oh, you're talking
Oh.
about the
chapter
the like
And 1.
the other chapter tactics. I'm
the
talking about like
successors?
salamanders,
Yeah.
like because they won't be able to have that tactic.
no, I
Can
don't.
their Invictors? What's the range on the
Listen, I
Invictor?
gotta
I mean,
comment
it's
on
a
Heather
heavy
on
flamer.
Yeah,
these
it's a heavy
things.
flame.
I
It's
think
like 12,
it's like
it's 12
20.
inches.
And can't you infiltrate that
You
thing?
can
Yeah, sure.
infiltrate it, but I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
sure.
I'm talking about like regular flamers.
Yeah.
Does that not work on the Invictor flamer?
Yes, they can.
No, I'm-
It still works.
it-
Yes, they can.
It would.
Let me have my job.
I don't know. We'd have to. I'd have to see like the finalized thing. And all
Oh,
that.
you know, there is a big piece of news. I mean, is there anything else about London GT? Do we know who won the Sigmar side?
I have no idea.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, I listen to 40K podcast, bro.
That's fair. There's not a ton of Sigmar podcasts,
No,
really.
there's not.
There's a really good one on Wednesdays you should watch called Warhammer Weekly. It's really good. You should watch it too.
You had a piece of news.
I was clearing the floor of the GT.
He's trying to be polite to you guys.
He's telling me what to do.
I'm sorry you look at it that way.
How much did they pay you for that plug?
For the what?
The plug?
The London?
The
The
plug.
plug.
For the London GT? Is that what you're saying?
No,
the
the
Warhammer
podcast.
Wednesdays.
The
what-
podcast.
yeah.
Not nearly enough. I'm gonna reach out to him because I
Is it
really do.
currently
like this
0?
show. It's currently 0, but that will change. I'm confident.
It's confident.
At any rate, okay. So the big news. Drum roll here. We finally, at long last, have a date. You guys are fantastic with that. I hope you guys picked that up because that was stellar. We finally have a date for Clone Wars.
October 4th.
yeah, that's right. 'cause
October
it was,
4th.
That's really soon.
Fine.
What's Clone Wars?
Legion, Star Wars Legion, next expansion.
So
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
these are
Exactly.
definitely the droids I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
it might be.
I've been waiting for a year and a half for these droids.
That's like so surprising that like surprise date October 4th, 2 weeks away.
What's really surprising is the way Fantasy Flight understands how the quarters of the year work. Late third quarter, Clone Wars comes out. Turns out October is actually late third quarter by their vernacular. For everybody else, it's early fourth quarter. But I'm just trolling. But
No,
Fantasy
it-
Flight
it's
is
like
historically
almost
bad.
It's super late third quarter.
Yeah, I
Like
would
fourth
say,
quarter.
like past due. Like if your paper was due Monday and you turn it in
Yeah,
Friday.
right. Like you would fail that paper.
Unless their
Like
fiscal
fourth
year starts in
Well, unless-
February.
They sent a drunken email to their professor and said, "I can't finish on time."
So if
And the
it's
professor
not-
was like, "All right, we'll give you an extension."
If it's not third quarter, then what is it?
Fourth quarter.
So it was
Or-
out in fourth
It's late.
It's
At
late.
any rate, they've missed a lot of dates, and this is just another one in the list they've missed. But we will have it October 4th,
That's awesome.
which is exciting. It's really cool. I actually painted, or I'm working on painting a tank today.
Surprise.
That is a surprise. This is your first
Tim
one?
with tank.
It's not a 40K.
Yeah, it's a Legion thing, right?
Yeah, it's a Legion
Yeah,
tank.
I mean,
Painting it gray.
How long
It's
until
definitely
you got
gray.
40 of those?
Did you see it back there?
No, but I know you, and I
Yeah,
know
it's
it's going to be gray.
Well, I painted it the same way that I
I
painted
know
the
that it is on
ATST.
the box. Yeah. Oh, well, there's that too.
Anyway, somebody said something
Yeah.
that wasn't a troll.
Not surprised. You're gonna have how long until you have 40 of them?
Well, he'll have two.
I'll only ever need 2 for Legion.
That's all
No,
you're allowed to take.
yeah, you can only take.
Yeah, you can only take 2, so there's no
Well,
point.
as soon as that changes.
Well, let me tell you, the Cities of Sigmar book that I'm supposed to be getting sometime in the next century or so, steam tanks will be a thing. So my Sigmar army will also have tanks.
And they will also be gray.
What's a steam tank look like?
Have you ever seen a fresh model out of a box?
have you ever seen this?
It's gonna be Citadel gray.
I don't know. You know what a
I'm not
steamboat
talking about the color.
Do
I'm
you know
talking
what
about
a-
them.
Do you know what a steamboat is?
Yeah.
Okay, so a tank.
It does kind of look like
nothing.
Jake doesn't
Thank
know.
you, Tony.
Jake's not that far off. It kind of
Seen
looks
a
like a
boat
boat.
before? Yeah, right. Car.
It'd be nice if they had new models for them, but they're so small.
There's the steam tank. Is?
Almost
Is it really?
Yeah, they're
nothing in
pretty
common.
little.
I've never seen one in person.
You've seen a steamboat, right? Put treads on it.
It's on a flyer base. I mean, it's
It
on,
still
I mean,
has
big
the
enough to
wooden
fill a
wheel.
flyer base. All right. At any rate, I'm excited for Clone Wars. Mike has a $500 pre-order for Clone Wars. $600 pre-order.
You said
Yep, I now just need $600 bucks.
$600.
Well, you got
Why
till
would
the
you
4th to
pre-order
pay
it
it.
without having the money?
Yeah, Mike.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm super pumped for it though. I've been trying to get Evan to play Legion for a while, and he just keeps ghosting me and trolling me from afar.
Honestly,
Like
like,
from-
I can't blame him.
Like from how far? Like 1,000 feet in the air?
I'm
Typically,
excited
yeah.
that I'm going to have a reason to finish out my rebels now.
Well, why didn't you have a reason to do that before?
No one was playing.
I really think that this is gonna.
If this
I-
revitalizes the
I
community,
really think
Do
it
we-
will.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
finish
really
up my rebels.
excited.
and
I
get what
think
want.
the biggest thing, like it was really strong, but it was always
Imperial. on
Rebels versus
Imperial.
Rebels, Imperial versus Imperial, Rebels
Yeah.
versus
There
Imperial.
wasn't very
Yeah.
many rebels at all.
And and so
well,
like
yeah, people really
it's
like
still-
Imperial
Suck.
stuff.
and still the game
They were really
They
good
they
when the game
well,
came out.
The game was pretty balanced.
when the game is so young and there's only so many options, like
And when there's 2 factions.
and yeah, so adding 2 more factions is gonna they're gonna need to continue to do more, but like at least this is a step in the right direction.
well, they've
Yeah.
done it. They've
and
done
now
a lot.
now not every game will seem stale.
Monotonous.
Or, yeah, monotonous.
I think the game will truly be at its like it'll truly be like have its an identity of its own once like it get 2 more factions to come out. So you've got
I think
6.
8. I think 8 factions would
Eight's
be
probably
8 would
the-
be great as well. But
I would
what
be-
can we what are another 8 or 4
First
factions?
order.
Well, you
can
know,
go-
Rebels
you know at some
2.0.
point you'll get that.
the
Yeah.
Resistance, right? That'll be next in line. I'm not sure.
I
if-
won't own a single one of those models.
I'm not sure
I'm
if we'll get to
serious.
8.
I will not.
I think
buy
the
it.
game would be just fine at 6, though. Too. I don't think we need 8. I think 8 might be. Too
From the
much.
way they talk, I don't. Oh, I don't think it'll be too
Well,
much.
what other
but-
factions could you have?
Well,
that
you could
are,
have
like,
you,
big
you
enough
could,
for
you could
standalone
have
factions.
you could have Resistance and you could have First Order.
Right.
I think if they
that's
did
where
that
the 6
and
come
then
from. But what about 2 more beyond that?
yeah, that's what I'm
Jump
saying.
in.
I
I
don't
think
really.
we're-
Trying to be like better about interrupting.
That's fair.
I don't really care to
That
have.
just means you don't get to
8.
talk.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
What about the trade alliance?
That they're coming out and with the. That's what this
Oh, the
one.
trade. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Trade
but-
Federation.
Federation.
Yeah.
Is that what their name is in the game?
It's the
or is it
Separatists.
Separatists?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
okay.
the Senate?
You could
Well, that's
that's
like
Re-
Palpatine.
the
Master
Republic?
Jar Jar.
Palpatine is. the
what
Senate.
about what
I
about
need to watch that.
The Gorgon or Gongans, whatever those are. Yeah.
Don't act like
I
you don't know
really
what
want
they're
them to
called.
bring out
I don't
Gungans.
know what they're called.
You know what they're
I really
called.
want
I don't know.
Gungans.
Jar Jar's? Is it gun? Is that
He's a
what
Gungan, bro.
Yeah,
the,
Gungan.
the Jar Jar?
They could give us an
give me
entire
an
Wookiee
attitude like
faction too. I would love a Wookiee
I'm
faction.
about to, hold on.
They-
I'm about
they-
to spout some condescension
in,
to you about comic books, all right? You want to feel
Revenge,
stupid?
Revenge of the
What are you
Sith.
talking about?
I don't know, just because I don't know what they are. You're like, you know what they are.
Revenge of the Sith did show a lot of Wookiees. So,
Yeah. They
you
could do a Wookiee faction.
You
you
could also
need, like,
do
3
like
models.
you could also do like the scum of Tatooine, right? You could do like the
I
Tusken
don't
Raiders.
like that idea. You
I
could
don't like them as like an army.
There's actually
no.
enough
Not like an army wide, but like you could have like Tusken Raiders, and you could have like the
What
You
if,
could do
the,
it.
the stupid aliens that are like all like thieves and scumbags and
Yes,
Oh, yes,
Tony.
Tony.
what if it was like just that big ass like
The
tank thing,
crawl, the
and,
sand
like,
crawler.
it's after the match, like that's when you get to play. Pick up the dead bodies.
Are you talking about the Jawas?
Yeah, the sand crawler.
Yeah. You get the savage. Did you see the Rancor?
No, did they
They're coming out with a Rancor kit, and what it is
for Legion?
Yeah, and it's
officially or
I believe so. Yeah, and what it is it's a condition card.
Oh, okay.
So you use
So
it.
not
and
a
it's,
model.
No,
Or
it's
it
a
is a
model. It's a model. And,
okay.
And if you get the Rancor condition card, it's on the table and it walks around and it like eats your crap.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
So
There's
you
some
don't
really-
you don't put a
what?
hole in your table?
Yeah.
No, no.
That's when they released the sand monster, or whatever, the Sarlacc pit.
No, yeah, that's the Sarlacc.
That's right.
So anytime Boba Fett's on the board and the Sarlacc pit exists, he just falls into it.
And
Right,
Luke's gonna
Boba Fett.
blatantly kick
Miss
the
a
air.
kick. Have you ever seen that?
Boba Fett. Oh, it's
They're
real
fighting
bad.
on
Real
like
bad.
the skiff things, and he kicks a guy.
No,
And
he doesn't.
He doesn't kick him. There's a solid foot.
I don't know. If you look at the response he did,
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's like, oh.
He kicked a guy with the Force.
Yeah,
Get over
yeah.
it. Get
There's
over
a
it.
complete canon explanation
Is Eli
on
on
this.
here? Because like this
To
is
defend it?
what apologizing is.
Force
right here.
kick.
That you can totally make sense reasonably within the universe how that happened.
I think it was totally a mess up
It'd
by
be
the
bad
by the
filming.
production.
Oh, yeah.
However, I'm
It
gonna
was a
be.
production
That
miscue.
was this whole thing with the.
I'm
Parsons,
still gonna
too.
say Force kick.
We'll just we'll make up some BS.
You never
reason
saw
to book
Solo,
somewhere.
did you?
Yeah.
So when that's a prime example of like something we don't ever need to be shown, and they showed it to you, and it's way worse than.
I don't think it was that bad.
Oh, I thought
think
it was
being
terrible.
over-
Like they're
I
running
thought-
away from a giant like
I thought that-
space monster.
I thought that was bad.
I don't think it was that
I
bad.
haven't
thought it
watched
was
it. I don't
terrible.
really desire to watch it. Rogue One was kind of like that too, though. It's just
I really
another
like
one of
Rogue
those
One.
movies that
Rogue
you
One
really
was the
don't
best Star
need to
Wars movie
see.
we had in 20 years.
And it was one of those movies that they didn't really need to make.
That's fair.
I mean, they don't need to make it, but at least that one was made. I
I
thought
want to
well.
know what the hell
It was
Bothans
better.
are and why so
They're
many
dog
of them died.
people.
Wampas?
Prove it.
Bothans.
Bothans.
Oh, Bothans? Yeah, they're
That's
kind
only-
of dog
that's the
people.
extended universe. That's
And a
not
lot of
canon
them-
anymore.
That's
lot
fair.
of them
We don't know
died.
what they are
Are
anymore.
you not gonna watch the Obi-Wan show
Probably not. I won't get Disney.
or
whatever
the
it is.
Mandalorian?
Can I get somebody's
Okay,
passcode
like,
to Disney
I
Plus?
have a
'Cause
pretty
I
hard time
absolutely
thinking
not.
I'm not
Yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna
get
come over
Disney
and we'll
Plus.
watch it.
That's fair.
There's just.
I'm getting it too, and no.
I mean,
it's just
I-
not-
What else?
Hang
what
on,
else
hang on,
is
hang
on there
on. We got
besides
too many
the Star Wars
conversations
stuff?
going on. What were we going to say? What were we saying?
I said I have a hard time thinking that I'm not going to get Disney Plus. First of all, it's going to be like $6 or $7 a month. It's super dirt cheap, and then like there's so much like unique content going up there.
and beloved content.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
And
about unique though. Like I'm getting it too.
Original.
I think I agree with you. Like there, I don't see a reason not to, but like there's a reason we're calling it Disneying on these movies. So they're all going to be pretty much the same movie. They're going to be the same series. It's one's going to have lightsabers. One's going to have.
They're going to have all the
shields.
episodes of the Marvel show on there, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
that's
the Marvel show. What do you mean?
the MCU.
That's important because they're not going to have the Netflix ones. They're
Those
not a
will
part of
never
it.
be on though. On there.
They're not going to be on. Probably
That's
not.
really a bummer.
Um,
I mean, I didn't get into
wait,
those
are you
Netflix
talking
shows,
about-
but
are you
those
talking
were.
about the Defenders.
Stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I
and
would
they're
love- I would love to see
there's
them come
already
back,
talks
but-
of them rebooting it, possibly on FX.
I
They just didn't want Netflix to have them. Is that what it
well,
was?
the agreement is that because they gave them the IPs. Like there was
Yeah,
no
but they
other
kind of
streaming
pulled the
service.
rug like unexpectedly.
Right, because they baked in some stuff, because they got screwed over with Spider-Man and
Right.
right. So the deal is they have to wait 2 years after cancellation
Mm-hmm.
before they can do anything with those
Netflix or
characters.
Disney?
Disney.
Okay.
so I
So they're
So
able to-
Netflix protected themselves too, so they couldn't go right
Netflix
over to.
is going to be able to air all those for an additional 2 years. Before.
Okay.
So yeah, I was gonna add on to that. The actor from The Punisher said that
Bless you.
he's encouraging and hoping that that Punisher series will continue, but he even said that it won't happen for at least 2 years.
right,
so-
'cause contractually,
Yeah.
right?
So,
So-
like
so
he's
good.
he's still gonna push to keep that series going. Like
Yeah,
he's
but
gonna
so did-
want it.
So did the guy who played Luke Cage, and I mean, it's dead.
It's just
Let's
a shame
let
that
it
they
die.
killed it like
Yeah.
that. Now, why did Disney do that? Because they
they're
wanted to.
launching Disney Plus.
Okay, so they
Yeah.
knew that they were going to be putting that stuff on their own platform. Okay.
But I did read something that said they're possibly going to be rebooting it on FX, so it's going to be like on a legit station, not necessarily just Disney Plus.
Okay.
FX has had some good shows over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They really
Yeah, they had
have.
some stinkers too.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, but look at Netflix. Like Netflix series, you remember like when like House of Cards and
So good.
I think we
So
need to
good.
take Netflix success with a grain of salt because they're taking the shotgun approach.
Yeah.
more so
A lot
more so in the
more
last
bad
couple of
than there
years.
is good.
But like
A lot.
when did
But the good is really good.
No, that's
You
kind
know,
of what I was
yeah.
getting at. Like, it used to be Netflix exclusive or special used to have like a stamp of, you knew it was quality, but now it's
Not always,
No.
dude. Not from
No,
the
I don't
beginning.
think. I don't think so.
I think in the beginning is what he's
lot-
saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I-
That's not true.
I don't think that's true either. I think
Have you
there's a
ever
lot
watched
of bad.
Hemlock Grove?
that
Oh,
was bad. Was that
That was
the one where-
terrible.
About it.
That one
Was
of
that
the
where
first
everybody
ones. I
over
forgot about
21
that.
died?
Bad.
Why'd you remind me?
I don't know. I don't know. But
David makes a good point that they also didn't really have competition at the time.
Well,
That's
sure.
true.
Well,
That's
they
true.
didn't have streaming competition, but you still had HBO and Showtime.
Right,
so
but I
it's
mean-
it's the same realm.
No, not really.
What do you mean?
It is different though. Like
That's
Didn't you have to have those networks in order to use
You have
those
to have
services?
Netflix in order to watch their
no,
programming.
I understand,
No, I
but
understand, but
HBO is a subscription from cable. At that time, it was a subscription from cable. It's not like they had their standalone service.
yeah, HBO Go.
No, but I
now
guess-
didn't come out till after
I mean,
Netflix.
now
Right,
it
but
is,
I guess my point
And
is
Netflix
like
started off as just DVDs.
in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
it's all competition, right? Like it literally
Yeah.
all like
Not
Lost
really,
was.
dude. I mean,
how so? Because you're
because
competing
just-
for
so
people's time.
for instance, I don't have cable. I didn't have cable for a long time, so my option was Netflix.
I
That's-
haven't had
that's
cable
fair,
since
But
but
that
I was
doesn't
19.
change that
If you're-
those aren't competing against each other.
if you're making,
So
if you're
how
making,
is that competing for my attention then?
What do you mean?
I'm not alone in doing this. So how is something that's on cable competing for what I'm watching? So you can have a streaming service that's tied to your cable subscription, but it's not the same.
I think this goes along.
competition.
I think this goes along with what you were saying, how they had so much bad content, and goes along with him because if you're trying to create an original show, and you don't, I guess, HBO probably makes a buttload of money off of their subscriptions, and maybe I'm wrong, or maybe at the time they did, but they usually put out like a lot of high production content, whereas Netflix didn't at first. So like you're still competing on what content you're creating, I suppose,
And
and
it's
what's
different.
getting,
It's
getting
not-
renowned.
It's
Like
it's not competition
like The
between
Sopranos-
the app service and Netflix. It's only competition in that time would be the cable company in that service,
Right.
wherever you're getting HBO from. That's
Wait,
that's what it would
That's
be.
and I'm not saying specifically HBO. See,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I guess I'm confused. It's they're all competing against like product, right? Like,
Well, it was cable versus
Netflix
streaming,
Yeah.
not HBO specifically. Because
Yeah.
now all the networks have their own streaming stuff.
right. Well, that's a little bit different. I mean, you're still trying to. HBO wanted to create Game of Thrones before HBO Go to try to get subscribers. You know what I mean? Like that's still competition with Netflix. You know what I mean? It's just different.
you're trying to put out the best content to get people to subscribe to you.
Well, it's the same
or get-
concept like where the Detroit Tigers, their real competition are the Detroit Pistons.
Well,
you know, like you're trying to get people. You're like not on
Who's
the
Detroit
field.
Tigers.
It's this really defunct.
They also have no
pro-
competition because they compete in 2 different times a year.
Well, you know what I mean, though.
But
It-
I'm not.
Point.
I don't think we're saying that they don't compete. I'm just they compete with cable, or at least they competed
what
with.
I'm
they,
saying
they
is,
were,
in
they were
the
lumped in
abstract,
with the
you're,
cable.
you're competing to get people's money, right? Like,
Yeah.
This has to be Jurassically unentertaining.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Hey, speaking of the Spider-Man thing, have we heard any news on that? I've
Yeah,
heard
I heard a little
chatter
bit of
back
news.
and forth.
More
This
this
is-
week?
No
Yeah.
weekly update on the Spider-Man controversy.
Change the name of the podcast.
I saw a clip where he's like doing the Tony Stark thing, and Happy's just watching him with like a little twinkle in his eye, and it's like, we're never getting that back.
I don't know that yet.
Maybe.
It's
I-
not
Yeah,
safe to say
yeah,
that
I
The
yet.
was gonna say,
almighty
I don't-
dollar will probably bring it back. but-
I have heard that there was a new deal on the table.
Well, there's constantly going back and forth.
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
know about
I feel
an
like
actual deal, but the last thing I heard was Tom Holland came out and spoiled some stuff about what was gonna happen, and they were going to be introducing new characters. So there's a lot of speculation that it was going to be Venom. So we might be getting that anyways.
So-
I have heard something about Venom.
So I feel like
Ben was just as good as Spideyverse.
Tony over here. Tony over here has brought up a good point that every leak and news article seems to be coming from Sony. So I feel like Sony's
Yeah.
specifically putting these like making their stuff public while Disney's like just holding back. So the last thing I heard
There's
was
no
that
such thing as bad publicity, man.
right.
Like,
So the last thing I heard was that Sony offered a deal where Disney would get 30% and also
That's
to
what I
add
heard.
Venom into the MCU. Now, whether that would be a brand new Venom or the Tom Hardy Venom, I don't
Dude.
know.
well,
I would prefer to just
But see,
get
that's
Tom.
it's all a tactic. Like,
No,
Sony-
absolutely,
Sony's just
absolutely.
releasing
What-
all
what
this
is
info
the-
trying to get hype?
do you guys know what the turnaround time on a movie is?
That's a hard thing.
It does, but it very much depends on the movie.
Well, okay. I mean, like, well, we're talking about MCU movies, right? So, like, how long?
year.
Well, so
Year and a half?
they filmed a lot of Endgame
I would say at
with
least a year and a half,
at
right?
least a year.
Infinity War, right?
they filmed a lot of Endgame with Infinity War, so I think it also depends on how they're filming.
Well, I'm
It depends
talking
on
like
reshoots.
eh,
and
what I'm
editing
talking
time.
about is right now we're at a hard stop
Yeah.
with Spider-Man in the MCU. So,
but to be fair,
but when
it
they
doesn't look like
when
there's-
they turn the switch back on, which I think probably will happen, you're still 2 years from a movie, right? So because you know what I'm saying. So like, oh, we're getting him back, but it's going to take a good amount of time before that actually materializes.
Right.
To be
So
fair-
right now in the interim, we're missing a lot of tie-ins. To which I don't know what Phase 4 is going to look like. I was thinking about this the other day. It doesn't seem like something that's overly intriguing.
I almost want to let it fall down a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
Just so some of the other stuff can come up.
Like what other stuff? Like
Like
the shows
Star
and whatnot.
Wars or,
Oh, okay.
You know, like just in general. Like,
Star Wars is a
It has
flaming
been.
dumpster fire,
Dude,
though.
It
Star
has
Wars
been
is
hyped.
dying.
It
Destined
has
to
been
be bad.
hyped a lot. The MCU has,
Yeah.
and it's been like this big.
But to
I
be
don't
fair,
wanna
it was
see it end,
earned, though.
I
It
don't
was
wanna see it
earned.
end. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, neither do I.
It was
all.
organic.
I just want more diversity in the market,
I hear you.
and I'm a huge superhero fan, so that's saying something.
It
That
would be
being-
good to break that template too. The big CGI
Exactly.
armies, the humor.
Yeah,
you know, just like
disposable
just
CGI.
change it up a little bit. I agree with you.
Fighting with people to find the thing.
Yeah, fighting a villain that's a mirror image of yourself. Go ahead.
classic
Sorry.
trope. So you said that what you saw in Phase 4 you're not totally excited for. Everyone I talked to said that Guardians of the Galaxy looked dumb before it came out. They're like, why? This is just a cash grab.
That is not true.
That is me.
Not
not
all,
say that.
all
I'm not-
non-comic book
I'm not
fans
saying, but like a lot
said
of
that, and then when they watch it, they're like, "Wow, that was really good."
Yeah.
So like, just
That was one
because
of my
like you
favorites.
all
don't
I'm
know,
saying, no, that's fair.
are not
and,
excited
and,
for it.
and I'm
That's
going
why I go see
I'm gonna-
everyone.
They're gonna get my money. That's not what I'm saying. To the point where I can't even remember, other than Blade, like what's coming. I know we're getting Marvel. What if?
well, that's on the show.
Um,
So Disney Plus and movies are
I,
they're
Love and
I get
Thunder.
it. What I'm saying is I don't know what's coming.
Yep, there's,
Like,
so
I
there's
put it on-
four.
Thor 4, Blade,
care.
Doctor Strange,
Yeah,
I think
Doctor
that could be
Strange is
pretty
like
cool.
the most exciting thing. I
Black,
love
a Black
Doctor
Widow
Strange.
movie.
I think that's overdue.
What was that a movie or was that
I
a
don't think
show?
it needs to
It's a
happen.
movie.
It's a movie.
I guess
to be
that's kind of
honest.
what I mean. Like
What doesn't need to
it's
happen?
past
It
its time.
needed to happen 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. They
Yeah,
should have
she
done a
died.
I
Black
don't think
Widow.
it needed to happen 5
Whoa,
years ago.
spoiler
I think
alert.
we need a Black Widow movie.
If it were to happen, it needed to
Look,
happen.
Black Widow's not a compelling character. She's not interesting. It's not.
I thought Iron Man 2 was her
Yeah.
origin story. By the way,
It was. Let's leave it at that.
we don't need to do
I
that
guess
again.
that's fair.
Does Hawkeye
Yeah.
need a standalone movie? Oh, actually, I didn't remember seeing that.
I
yet.
think.
Isn't he
I think,
getting a
yeah,
show?
It's a show. It's a
Yeah,
show.
his is a show.
But his is I believe it's about him training his like how they kind of tease in the
His
beginning of
daughter's
Endgame.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, he's gonna be training
Is
his
that
daughter.
a compelling show?
Maybe.
Come on, Susie, we're going out to the woods.
I mean,
I'm sure there's
like,
gonna be some drama.
I'm probably gonna throw up a log. Not just gonna be aiming at trees.
Wow.
And trees. I'm the
What
best
else do
archer
you do in
ever.
the woods?
That's a 200-year-old tree. It can't move. Hit it.
Oh, I was gonna say so.
Hey, does anybody else like? Every time I hear Guardians of the Galaxy, the song plays in my head.
Listen,
Oh.
man, I gotta be honest. I
At the
saw
beginning
those
of the
James.
first movie, yeah.
I saw those James Gunn tweets, and it was way worse than people let on, and it's
no,
got me.
I completely
it's-
said that they were terrible.
got
they're,
me thinking.
they're bad. They're
It's
bad.
got-
Yeah.
Like
They're
I was
not
under the
good.
impression that it was just like jokes, like oh ha, you know, it was like statements. It was bad
I
stuff.
never saw them. I don't even know what they were about.
They're bad.
They were
Yeah,
very
a lot of
bad.
them were about peeing on children.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
much.
And
That's
it wasn't like
not
three
what
or
I-
four tweets when he was drunk. Like it was 10,000 tweets.
I don't know.
That he
All
himself-
10,000 tweets were about.
I'm saying 10,000 tweets were deleted. I'm not saying I reviewed 10,000 tweets,
terrible.
but the
Well,
ones
he
I
could've-
saw were not good.
He could have just deleted offensive tweet in timeline point A, and all tweets into the
Yeah,
I
I was about to
lost my
say.
job.
I was about to
was a
say.
bad
That's fair.
They weren't all.
whatever
That's
I
totally-
said, all
but
of them
that,
out.
but that doesn't excuse what was said.
Oh no, you're right. You're
I
totally
mean, it's
right.
not like, and this isn't.
See, Jake and I were talking about this before. Like, just because an artist is questionable doesn't mean that their work isn't enjoyable.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So,
fair.
like, just because Cardi B is a horrible human being doesn't mean you can't listen to her.
Yeah, but her product's bad too, though.
I don't think it is. I mean, that's
If
subjective.
you,
I-
okay,
I-
subject- yeah,
I do
if
think
you
it's
think
bad.
her product's bad, don't.
But I'm just saying, just
Partake.
because somebody, like we were talking about Bill Cosby, he's a funny guy. Doesn't mean he was a good dude.
Probably not his like newer stuff. That's probably not very
Like
fun.
Cosby
he's in
Show and
prison now,
before.
But I'm just saying, like, just because
I wonder if
he
he's entertaining
was
everybody.
No,
a
I-
good person does not
No,
mean
I
shouldn't
understand.
watch his movies.
Are
I
you kidding me?
understand.
He's probably
It's
a
not
gang
the way
leader.
that-
But at what point do you like when you vote with your wallet, right? You know,
Yeah,
like,
it depends on
this
the-
is something
if
I
it-
don't want to support. Like that's
So,
that's the
I mean,
most
I don't know
important way to-
specifics, but let's go back and look at great artists. I guarantee that there was more controversy around.
Oh,
them.
Right, but
absolutely.
we talked about this the other day
Absolutely.
too. That it's different when you have a conversation and somebody says what you said, as opposed to you typing it on
I
your
think
phone.
you're missing my point, though. Is I'm saying I don't care what they say. I'm not condoning what they do by appreciating their art.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Also,
but sometimes that's the only power you have in the situation, right? Like
that's fair. You boycott someone because you don't want them to make a living because
well,
you
no, that's
disagree
not even,
with.
That's not even it. You're just saying I'm not going to financially support this decision to hire the guy. You know what I mean?
because
and
the-
I'm not saying
yeah,
I'm taking
because
that
that's,
stance.
I
the,
understand.
I'm saying the point of doing that is because you hope that enough people do it.
Well, that's one way to look at it. It doesn't have to be an activism thing. It could just be
A personal thing.
a personal thing.
I didn't go see the last two Transformers movies.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't wanna
You
give
know,
them the money.
People stopped watching the NFL because of the whole Kaepernick
Yeah,
thing.
I,
Like,
don't,
and that,
I don't think Michael Bay deserves
I
my
don't,
money.
I don't.
fair.
I don't think there's anything wrong with people not giving their money to something if they believe that it's wrong or something. That being said, like I think there's a huge difference between what James Gunn tweets and Bill Cosby's rapes. So
well,
Wow.
I guess that's
absolutely.
fair. It's not,
No.
it's not a direct correlation.
Absolutely, right?
I think there's a huge
joke,
difference there.
joking about something. I mean, even if it's a
even
bad
if it's
taste,
bad jokes, like
even if there's 1,000 of them, like it's still you're not actually.
I watch or I follow Side Nine Happiness comics, and then every once in a while they do like Depressing Comic Week, and they're like terrible
Yeah.
terrible comics like that makes you feel awful.
Yeah, like
and
you,
so
you,
there's
you
no
gain
joke, there's
nothing.
no punchline. It's just bad. And then so like, but I still appreciate other things they do, and I can kind of understand the meaning behind it, the intent of
Dude,
doing
that's
it.
fair, man. I'm
So, like,
again, I'm not
I don't know
advocating.
I don't know what his intent was to put out 1,000 tweets about peeing on children. I'm pretty sure that they were jokes because he claimed they were, and there's no accusations of him actually doing so. So
I'm really trying to be like polite and not interrupt Jake.
I was just trying to
I'm
finish my
still
point.
on the Transformers thing.
That
So-
Bud Light commercial though.
Yeah, so I stopped watching those and giving them money because of the result of the
Right.
artwork, not because of something Michael Bay said.
Right, but I mean, if you chose to do so, I mean, it's your money,
I
right?
mean, ultimately, you're allowed to do what you want with your
Right.
money. I'm just saying that it's a disservice to yourself to not attempt to appreciate artwork just because the artist is.
It's,
Well, sure.
I
It's,
agree
it's,
with that.
it's perfectly reasonable to disconnect the business owner from the business and the artist and the art from the artist, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you might. So, let's take the whole. This is something stupid that's been controversial for a while. Let's take the whole Chick-fil-A thing, right? People have been boycotting Chick-fil-A because the owner doesn't agree with gay marriage, for
Yeah.
instance.
Well, I think it's
That's dumb.
yeah.
I'm just gonna come out and
it's
say
it's
it's
more
dumb.
about them activating
that's
they're
more.
activist
That's
things
more of an
too.
attempt to harm a business you disagree with.
Well, no,
well,
Well,
you don't
well,
disagree with the business.
I was
That's
just
because-
about to say
yeah,
that.
well,
You
sure,
just disagree
sure.
with the business
Let's
owner.
go. It's
so-
because the business
that's
owner.
exactly the same thing.
What's
Yeah,
also
and
because
that's my point.
just
That's my point.
to clarify, that it's because the business owner gives money as an activist towards like stopping and preventing gay marriage and stuff. So like,
Like making it
it's not
illegal
just it's
again?
not
It didn't work.
it's not
Yeah.
just his opinion. It's because he's also an activist as well.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I
I've
don't-
heard that.
But now in a world where activism is applauded,
No,
it's
hold
fine.
On. You got to watch when you were talking about Chick-fil-A and Tim, okay?
No,
I will.
I
Dude,
love Chick-fil-A.
I love Chick-fil-A. All right.
All I'm saying
He's
is
gonna
that
fire you live on the podcast.
I might kill you on the podcast.
all I'm saying,
rip out your beating
all-
heart.
I love Chick-fil-A. All I was
We
saying
were late
was
to a wedding because
I
of
was just
Chick-fil-A.
trying to
We were
get-
not late.
I was just trying to get the facts straight. Was that people and the LGBTQ are actively
Plus.
trying to boycott Chick-fil-A, not just solely on his opinion. That's all I was saying.
I wonder what he was actually doing.
I don't know. I
Because
don't know for
it-
sure.
it, like the
Listen, a guy lost
Wait,
his
you're
ownership
talking
of an
about the
NBA team
owner of
for
the-
something he
of-
said in his
of
home.
the business. Yeah.
He has
Haven't we already
donated
done
like
this, though?
from
Yeah,
what I
we
understand,
have,
like
but
hundreds of thousands
Episode
to
38.
We may
something
be
like that.
retreading ground
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, probably. We can move on.
I'm just saying-
I'm just curious about what he was
Yeah.
actually doing because it's at the federal level it's illegal.
Like.
Like the states aren't allowed to do it. So
Hashtag keep
nothing
government
he
out
can-
of marriage. Let's move on to something
There's
else.
nothing he can do.
I guess if he's funding
Who?
I guess if you have
politicians,
if you have like
lost control of
a
your
gay
podcast,
pride
my
rally,
friend.
right? So
out of your hands.
from what I understand, he basically funded something that would be the polar opposite of that.
Did he fund
I
a straight
don't-
pride rally?
I don't. I mean,
I think
that's,
that's
that might be
dumb.
a bad way of
it might have been
putting
just
that, but like,
it might have been just as donating money to politicians who actively oppose gay marriage.
yeah.
Yeah, but once again, there's nothing they can do about it.
Except
So,
not
unless-
shop
Give them more money.
at Chick-fil-A.
Well,
Not buy
I'm
their
talking
food at
about the
Chick-fil-A.
politicians.
Listen,
Never
okay,
mind.
and
He could fund their campaigns
the
to
grand,
keep them
Well, actually,
where they
no,
are.
No, that's,
They can't-
that's not how.
But
the,
that-
the,
but-
the
anyway,
grand, in the
trying
grand
to
scheme
move
of
on.
things,
Yeah, that's fine.
Chick-fil-A is doing just fine financially, and if I don't go
Hey, good
see
business model.
Guardians 4, it's going to do just fine.
Yeah,
That's
You know what I
true.
mean?
Oh yeah,
So-
it's gonna do great.
Guardians 3, by the
but
way.
the-
I'm going to go see
It
Guardians
got
3.
completely
It's
Thor
going to be
Guardians
awesome.
3.
moved away from my point is that I was trying to make is that it may be a disservice. You're doing a disservice to yourself by not enjoying the content versus hurting or.
I
And
on
that's
the- I on
because
the face
Chick-fil-A
that
is
would-
wonderful.
He's not even
I on
talking
the
about
face
Chick-fil-A,
would-
but that's what I was just about
Yeah,
to bring
yeah,
up.
I
Because
know.
I would say the same thing
That's how
about
I'm
those chicken
circling back.
sandwiches.
I think that goes along with this
Doing a
point. Yeah.
disservice to
Yeah.
yourself.
by
That
not-
is some
by not.
really good chicken. over
Chick-fil-A will be better forever than Guardians 4.
You know what's funny?
I'll
I've
be
had Chick-fil-A
yeah,
one
maybe.
time and I
You,
got fries.
you are
They
comparing.
haven't made the third
They have
movie.
good
yet.
fries.
You are comparing an
Fries
apple
are bad.
What?
to
They
a
have good fries.
Lamborghini.
That's fair.
They do. That they do.
All right, so I mean, what's coming up this week?
This week,
We got
You know, I mean-
Iron Hands and Raven Guard.
They go on pre-order this week.
No, they come out Saturday.
They're already
Yeah.
on pre-order.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, the Beast Grave stuff's going up. You guys pumped about that?
The best thing about that is that it's still not your book,
Unbelievable.
When's your book come out?
I don't know if it is.
dude.
I'm gonna be
Last
honest,
week
like,
I
probably
went.
not.
we're running out of
Last
time.
week we were playing our game, and he started talking about his book. I was like, "What do you mean? They put up the article this morning saying it
was
goes
so
on pre-order
mad.
next week." And he was like, "What? You better not be trolling me." I just smiled at him.
I was very upset.
That's funny, but don't you hate it when a mustache hair gets caught in the
Never
tab
had
of
that
a-
happen.
Dude,
Never
that
had
happens
that.
to me
Oh, God,
all
it's so
the
bad.
time.
It's so bad.
It just
Never
happened
had
to me
that.
now. It's so
That
terrible.
means you need to trim your mustache.
I brought this up
That
with.
needs
What's Snagowski say? I'm curious.
That's
it
a
needs
long
to be
time
longer.
ago.
That's
Okay.
No,
I
he
can't
hadn't
read,
commented in a minute.
I brought this up to Brad and Bucky earlier. Do you think the owner of Coca-Cola drinks Coke the old-fashioned way
This is
What
not
does
a
that mean?
conversation.
with coke
with
in
Coke
it.
in it? With cocaine in it.
X-Men #1 is
Maybe.
re-releasing in October.
X-Men #1?
Yeah.
The comics?
So they rebooted all of the X-Men continuity.
Really?
Yeah.
So
That's-
all that stuff like X-Men Red and Blue, all that's gone?
Yeah, they killed
What are they,
everybody off.
Pokemon?
Really?
Yeah. It's really
What about-
neat comic.
You know what?
Am I
Sorry.
allowed?
I was gonna ask a question to you. I was gonna ask you a question. Sorry.
Go ahead.
What about the recent current House of X and
Those are preludes to X-Men #1.
Okay.
So, like,
go ahead.
yeah. You try to be polite. This is what you get. People.
Go ahead.
hey, go ahead.
The in the X-Men, I feel like we're trying to.
Tim and I looked at each other
Um,
like, "Are you gonna do it first?"
I guess you guys are
Just
okay.
can you please go ahead?
please.
Move on.
Go ahead!
Tell us about X-Men.
Nate Gray. You guys don't know who that is,
Nope.
but have you ever heard of Age of Apocalypse? Back in the 90s?
Yep.
Cool. Do you know who Cable is?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Nate Gray's pretty much a clone of Cable. All right.
Okay.
He's not at all, but that'll let you understand.
Fair enough.
Character-wise.
Him and
he's a
Legion,
clone,
who
not a
is
clone.
is Professor X's kid, create like a micro dimension and kill all the X-Men and put them in it. And it was called Age of X-Men,
Okay.
where it was a utopia where personal relationships were not allowed. So you're not allowed to love or like.
That
other
doesn't sound
people.
very utopian, but
Well, it was a very peaceful society.
When you're not allowed to like anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah, utopias are rarely everybody's utopia. It's usually one person decides what the utopia
yeah, I mean that's
is.
why they
it's-
can't
yeah.
exist, right? Because like,
Yeah.
oh, this is perfect.
That comes
for me.
up in the book.
And killed them all how? Like by putting them here, or
That's
like
a long story. I suggest you come in and get the last episode of X-Men.
Oh, that's how it just wrapped up.
Well, this was a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Well, months ago, really.
So X-Men #1 is a total reboot,
Yep.
like as if nothing else had happened before. So it's
Right.
going to reintroduce all of them.
Well, Powers of X and House of X are leading into it.
Okay, so so when those end, we'll get X-Men #1.
X-Men #1, and it's going to be a soft like reboot. You're going to be the original cast is back. It's all Cyclops, Storm, Wolverine.
That's pretty cool.
exciting.
Pretty cool.
When is that
Is he
coming
gonna
out?
have the
Wolverine
yellow?
October.
Is Wolverine gonna have the yellow
Shut up.
leotard?
Get out.
Of course, it's Hugh Jackman.
I
Idiot.
would really like that'd be really cool if it didn't happen bi-monthly.
It's never happened to the X-Men before.
They've never rebooted X-Men.
Not killed everybody off. No.
That's really that's cool. I mean, they could screw it up. Have they ever rebooted Captain Marvel?
many times.
I was gonna say
Like,
multiple
at
times.
least
right?
15.
Many times.
She
I
was,
was just
unpopular in a lot of earlier variants.
What do you mean was?
Currently.
Fair.
There
Is
is
she in the comic books? Is she
Has not
unpopular?
ceased
Currently,
to be.
she is not a popular comic book character.
Okay.
There is.
I sense
Contrary to
That's
the
coincidental
propaganda.
because she's also not a popular movie character.
No, she's
I
not.
said-
I really
she's
think
not
that
a
was the
popular
actress.
movie actress.
Actually, the MCU was built on unpopular comic book characters. Iron Man was the second worst selling book in Marvel.
Really,
Really?
Thor was the #1 worst selling book.
really,
Yeah,
Really? Probably because it's not an interesting story. But I mean, we can.
The only reason we got an Iron Man movie was because they couldn't find anybody to buy the IP.
Really.
Yeah.
Now, what a turn
And
of
it
events!
launched the
Yep,
launched the
launched the
20 some
MCU.
odd
Oh,
new
I mean,
movies
Most
that
popular.
What is right now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Probably Captain America.
Do you think
It's
this?
fueled
Do
by
you
the
think John
movies.
Favreau should get more
Favreau.
directing credit?
Wait, what?
John
Favreau.
Favreau. Do you think he should get more directing credit? Because that's. I mean, just hearing that story, and like
He was also like
he was the director of Iron Man.
First Iron Man.
Yeah,
number uno.
and he was in it. He's happy.
Okay.
He tends to put himself in the movies he directs. At least some of them.
I mean, Iron Man was a cool movie. I don't think it's perfect. I think it's the connection of all the interconnecting stories, and like we joke about the Marvel show.
But I
But
think
I think that plays into
That,
it.
that,
I
that
think-
makes it so much
I think,
bigger.
Yeah.
well, they didn't know there was gonna be anything after Iron Man 1. I think the biggest thing was RDJ. Not
They
to
didn't know
this
the
extent.
MCU was coming,
Well,
but
they knew they had an Avengers movie planned.
oh really?
Yeah.
He
Yes,
was in.
yeah.
That's why the only movie that's part of the MCU that isn't a Marvel movie was the Incredible Hulk,
Yep.
because he's in the end of it. There was an after the credit scene,
in Iron Man 1.
and the Invincible
the-
Hulk,
Invincible
or
Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, yeah.
They were
with
shooting
Ed
at the same
Norton.
time, weren't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Edward Norton. He the general is like
There's
drinking and
also-
he's all sad, and then
Yep.
Tony comes up and says,
If you do
building a team.
pause
Putting a team together.
frame by frame on the open credit, or no, it was a deleted scene where he talks about how he had a gun and was going to kill himself, the Hulk.
"Mm-hmm."
There's a deleted scene where if you do a frame by frame, you can see when he smashes the ground, Captain America in ice. Like this was
Really?
all planned out.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
that.
pretty cool.
That's pretty. Yeah,
And
that's
then he
awesome.
directly talks about that deleted scene in the first Avengers movie.
I still have never seen the first Avengers movie.
It's so good.
It's very good. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I've seen the
Lots of Thor in
retreading of it in Endgame.
You mean Avengers 2?
Yeah. Let's see.
Is that
so,
Ultron?
There's 3 movies coming out on the same date that I'm excited for.
What's that?
The Joker,
I am very excited for that movie.
Doctor
Very
Sleep.
excited for that.
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, so it's a Stephen King.
Stand 2. Just call it the Stand 2. You got a lot of time.
Stephen King sequel to The Shining.
Okay.
Or
So-
The Shining, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a novel. He
What's
wrote
the
it,
other one? What's the
and
When
then
when did he
El
write this
Camino
book?
a while
I
ago.
don't know, I guess.
Okay.
You read it, right?
I haven't read it. No.
Oh.
I
How do you
assume
do
that
it?
like
I was
literally
just- I
any
was just
piece was
hoping-
What?
just many years
How do you
ago.
do a
yeah.
sequel to a movie where the villain froze to death?
He's not the villain. The hotel. is.
Also in the book,
I need to watch it.
Okay.
Movie.
Also,
Never seen The Shining.
also in the book,
Can I
it
take
doesn't.
this?
Yeah,
Pretty good
go
movie.
Go ahead.
Hold on,
Yeah,
what's the third movie?
Go, Tony.
The
El
Shining-
Camino.
The Shining is
What?
Breaking
about
Bad movie.
being
Oh
telepathic.
my god!
Right.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, The Shining. I mean, they touch on that one.
Can we make the meme?
I think they call. Are they called The Shining? Is that what the?
No, The Shining is the ability.
It's called
It's like
the
the
bright.
Force.
ability is called
It's
The
the
Shining.
bright. It
I'm
shines.
gonna beat you.
Please do.
I don't know. I only saw the
El
movie and
Camino?
it felt like the. It felt like
It's been a while.
the Shining was like kind of a background thing.
In the movie, yeah. In the book,
Yeah.
it's not.
Okay,
yeah,
Book, it's
okay.
much more in the front.
Okay.
So
It's
yeah,
about the ability, right?
you can.
Well, yeah. Have you read the book?
No, of course not.
Shocker.
Have you read The Shining?
Yeah.
So
Was it good?
Yeah, it was real good.
you can imagine that the sequel is based off of his own book. Or, I mean, the written sequel at least is off of his own book, not the
Right,
Stanley Kubrick
right.
movie. So it's about the kid like 20 some odd years later or whatever.
Listen, to be honest though, Kubrick made that movie.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that. So
He made that.
having a second one, I don't really care.
Who's doing it? Is
Yeah.
Jon Favreau directing it?
No, I'd probably appreciate it more.
What's El Camino though? I don't-
It's the Breaking Bad movie.
oh, who gives?
We
I-
need to make the meme.
zero care. about
Nobody, absolutely nobody. Breaking Bad movie comes out in 2019. Like, no, I don't. Do we need it?
that. Who asked?
Is
for
When
it?
Jesse
did,
in it?
when did Breaking
Huh?
Bad
Is
end?
Jesse in it?
Jesse's the main character.
No, I don't know if that's
Oh,
true.
Goody.
If Jesse's
Is
the
that-
main
is that true?
character,
It's the
will
Netflix
boycott
one,
that
right?
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think he's gonna
Jesse's the main
say?
character.
He's gonna say at a very elongated, derogatory term for females. That's the worst line in cinema.
Look at Jake's triggered.
I love
It's
Breaking
so
Bad.
weird.
So
You
what's
much.
the
literally are.
significance
You're
of
excited
the
for
El Camino?
Westworld season 3 because of Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse
I'm
Pinkman.
questioning
I think-
whether I'm going to
I like Aaron
because
Paul.
he's in there.
We're gonna watch it.
I don't know, man.
I
may
like
not host.
I like Aaron Paul.
Yeah, I'll watch it, but I'm not
So-
hosting.
I don't think you're giving
And I'm
enough.
always showing up.
credit.
What
What is the
Him.
release date for the Joker movie? And
October
and the other-
4th or
Yeah.
5th or something like that.
Oh, we gotta go see
You know
it.
what we need? We need another Indiana Jones movie.
I think there's
Part time.
Nobody.
Stop.
Isn't there one
no
coming out?
Not an effing
No!
soul.
I'm pretty sure Harrison Ford's
Indy,
filming
we're
one.
home.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure Harrison Ford's like making another one.
I really hope not.
I
I
Harrison
really
Ford
killed it.
has no interest in moving.
Yeah.
So I don't believe him.
I really hope he never makes another film. Cause,
Me
like,
too.
Watching.
Well, hold on. Didn't they set up one of the kids in the last movie to be the next Indiana?
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah,
Shia
that's what I-
LaBeouf.
That's
Oh,
what I thought.
They took that away.
It's been a
Shia
long
is
time,
not-
and I've tried to block.
Shia is
out.
not
It was
doing
a
it.
bad dream.
It was
but
aliens.
Shia's not doing it.
Stop, please. I don't want to know.
I didn't watch it.
You don't put
That's what it
aliens.
was.
Yeah.
The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It was
That's why
aliens.
the skull was all misshapen. That's why
aliens.
it was aliens.
It's kind of cool.
so
it's
bad.
dope.
I mean, like knowing
Eli,
like
again,
knowing
apology right here.
knowing the history of like actual findings of like elongated skulls in the world.
Yeah, they've obviously been aliens.
Yeah, no, they could have done it well. They just didn't.
That's fair.
No, just,
That-
I'm really
the
curious now.
concept
Make
is
this
kinda
point.
cool.
Yeah.
Make this point. I'm
Well-
very curious.
Well, I'm just saying that there's been a long history, and like,
Oh, I'm familiar with the skulls. Go. What's your point?
I'm not saying that maybe them being aliens was a thing, but like I was just the concept of
Them being aliens is cool.
Do you
It's not
believe in
bad.
ancient aliens?
We do not have enough time for this.
This
Okay,
is a
okay,
yes
okay,
or no.
it's a
I
quick-
think we should.
It's a
end
quick
this on
answer.
a cliffhanger.
I don't think aliens have ever visited Earth
Do you
Okay,
think
quick.
aliens exist?
unless we're the aliens.
Absolutely.
Unless we're the aliens.
That's
why would
not-
we be the aliens?
Aliens are a relative term. So
Yeah.
we are not.
Yeah. We
By
are physically
definition,
No,
we
no,
are
no,
not.
no. I
Yeah,
mean, as-
basically
we are
everything
not from
outside
Earth.
Oh.
would be.
So
I'm
you think
saying-
we're from Mars.
No, I'm saying
So
that
you
the
believe
only
in
way I think
panspermia?
the
Not
only
enough time.
let me finish my point then. Jeez, the only way I think if aliens has visited Earth is if they dropped us off
Right.
and then left.
That's like the whole plot of Guyver.
What
So
are
it's
the
like-
what's
Look up
the
that
what's the
manga.
So they're like
chances
the
of that?
dad that went and got
Very
smoked
slim.
and never
Hold
came
on.
back.
That's actually Scientology.
No, he sent us.
I
He
think
sent
so,
us
yeah.
in to get the smoke
Kind
and
of.
then left without us.
Believe it or not, Intelligent people believe that. It's called
Jake
panspermia.
is a Scientologist.
No, I
you
said-
heard it here first.
I said I don't believe that they visited Earth,
What are
but
your
that would be
feet
the only way.
levels, man?
Do you
Give me your
believe
feet
aliens
levels.
exist?
I believe. Okay, this is a hard. It
This
is.
is definitely.
It is statistically probable that life has, is, or will exist
I disagree.
in the universe.
I disagree to
I
say
don't,
it's
know, I don't know
probable.
if it's probable.
It's
It's
think-
possible.
It's almost impossible that it
I said-
exists here.
I said
spans of
has,
the
will-
universe. It's.
has,
I
is, or
think
will.
you're
Chaos
in
theory,
the
right?
in the infinity of the universe. So like it's
And time.
I
don't-
understand. I understand. But you multiply something by 0, it's still 0.
It's not
I
zero.
don't
So,
think
like,
it's,
it's not zero.
I
I-
think it is a very very high chance that there is life on other places. We've already found life on other places.
I don't know if we
Well,
have.
we did
Not
actually find
intelligent life, but
bacteria or
Exactly.
something on. We found on like Pluto or something, didn't we?
it was on.
I don't think we
I thought
ever
it was
put
one of those
anything on
fringe
Pluto.
planets.
I'm
Tit-
just saying, like
Titan?
it's a bit narrow-minded
No,
to
maybe
say.
not.
it's
What I'm
zero.
saying is, like, mathematically, it's pretty much impossible that we exist at
Okay,
all.
so let me-
And then to double that is still 0.
So
you know what I mean?
throughout
So, like,
the
you
in-
just,
infinite.
throughout the
it's
infinite space and
almost.
time, it's almost.
Yeah.
It's
but
almost.
I don't think you can just say, give it enough time and it'll happen. Like, I
But you're
just.
speaking like it's a finite, and you know, but you don't know.
Well, no, I don't know for sure. But,
Like, so
but
I
I
said-
know how hard it is for life to come from nothing. I would say it's impossible. And then to just give it some time, I don't think it's true. I don't think that's possible.
Why?
If you put that you've heard the watchmaker analogy before. So if you just put all the components of a watch in like pre-made in a bag and just leave it somewhere, it's never going to assemble into a watch ever.
No, of course not.
Life is much more complex than a wristwatch.
But you're saying that
That's-
trying to equate evolution to building a mechanical device. It's not the same thing.
How is it different?
I mean, I get the analogy with where you're going.
I don't.
think
I
it's-
don't. I don't
it's-
think
I
it's,
think it's-
analogical at all.
No, I think it's dumbing down an argument to the point where you can make an argument.
No, the point is, organic material cannot come from inorganic material. The fact that it happened here is miraculous. I mean, you can't put it any other way. And then to expect that to happen
You're
somewhere else
saying it's
because
miraculous because we don't know how it happened. That doesn't equate to a miracle.
well, mathematically speaking, it's miraculous.
Okay.
Just because we don't understand something doesn't make it a
Well,
miracle. That
I mean,
thousands of years ago, people thought fire
we
was
don't know the
magic.
origins, sure, but like you
Science hasn't defined it yet.
Okay,
that
so-
doesn't mean you know it's 0% possibility.
So-
I just don't think applying time to something as difficult as
if-
generating life
We
from
need
nothing.
to dive into
Hold on a
this
second.
next week.
I was asked
Like-
this,
like
so I
this-
wanted to
no.
make the final
You
thought.
guys can start
Enough.
getting up.
No, like
Time.
I'm saying, like I actually want to dive into this, but we don't have time.
I just want to
for
make
it.
my final thought. Okay, I think that under the assumption that it's a non-zero chance that life can happen in the universe, that given an infinite amount of time and space, it will happen, or has happened, or is happening. Like
Yes.
it's just I think it's improbable to say otherwise.
I don't disagree with that on its face. What I'm saying is just to say give it enough time. I think is
I think
Is a
even
bad
a
way to look
million
at it.
years in a million light years away, it could happen. Like I'm not saying
and
that
I'm not disagreeing
saying
with
that there's
that.
intelligent
I'm not
life
disagreeing.
right now.
Well, yeah, you are.
what I'm saying. I think it's incredibly
So,
unlikely.
I think shaking a bag with a watch, eventually you could
Get a functional
align-
watch.
Eventually, given infinite amount of time,
See, I don't.
infinite amount of time.
I
Well, I mean,
Is there a possibility
with
of that
enough bags full of watch material, like
Exactly.
eventually,
but then but you're
theoretically,
adding
they
another
could-
component.
no, you're not.
No,
Why?
because
Wait,
there's
why?
there's not infinite life building blocks.
Why is there
that,
not?
I
Why
don't
not?
think that's
because
true.
they're just not.
If there's
But
if there
why?
What's on what's on
will-
Mars?
We don't know how many planets there
I was
are
about
in
to
the
say
universe.
in an infinite war or
That's
universe,
But we,
exactly-
in infinite space
what I'm
and
saying is
time,
we
there
haven't
would be,
observed an
but-
infinite surplus of life building. Components.
But we can't define what life.
No, all
building
I'm saying is the
components
example
are.
you said. Just put an infinite number of them out there, and I don't. The universe isn't infinite. Like it is finite. It's
kind
isn't
of
it?
it is
Well,
expanding.
there's a
We don't
fine,
know.
there, but you
We
have
don't
to
know.
you
and
have to
that's the answer
assume
and that's my
So
answer
here's
to
the
the
thing.
question.
something the
I
size
don't
of a
know.
planet is finite, right?
don't know.
There's just not an infinite
Maybe,
number
maybe
of
not.
them.
well, they're expanding, and they're more being scientifically more
don't
being made throughout time.
We don't know.
We don't know, bro. I just think it's unlikely. I understand your premise, and I don't disagree with the premise. I just don't think
Okay,
it's
I
likely.
really actually want to talk about this more.
I'm down. All right, guys.
We're going to Frickers.
We'll talk to you next week. We love you. Bye.
Oh, bye.
Bye.